Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. My name is Carol. This is my very first video. It's actually a pre-surgery video of my journey so far. It's taken a while. It's right now Monday, March 21st, 2016, and my journey started in August of 2015, so it's been 7 months. I went to my primary care doctor. I weighed in at 331 pounds. Asked about bariatric surgery. He gave me a referral to go to the obesity clinic and go to one of their info sessions. I found it great. I mean, they give you a lot of information, the good, the bad, the ugly. Yes, they do have success stories that stand up. But I didn't find it to be a sales pitch at all. To me, if you're walking into that info session, you have already made up your mind that you're going to have this surgery, because otherwise you can go on the internet and find out all the information you want on bariatric surgery. But I did, and they take all your information right then and there, pretty much your insurance card, all that kind of stuff, and they look at your paperwork and pretty much tell you if you're going to qualify for it or not. So it was like the following week, you get assigned an advocate that you talk to. If you have any questions, you call that person. So I got mine, and it took a little bit. It was like a couple weeks later, I finally got set up with an appointment. I had decided on the SIP surgery, and I was quite excited about it. Filled out all my paperwork, answered all my survey questions and all that. They came up with a checkoff list of what you have to do in order to, get your surgery date, and it's kind of up to you. You have to make the appointments, kind of thing. I mean, they can help you out somewhat, but I have to get referrals for everything, so that takes a while. When I called, my primary care doctor, it takes like another week to get a referral, so it's really, I am not a patient person whatsoever. So to me, it's like, come on, let's just do this. So the first thing I did was I did the online course that you have to take, and that was fine. It was, again, the same information. Did that right off the bat. Then you have to go for a psychological exam. Mine was 3 days. 3 days long, and they are not all in a row. So it's like one day and then another 2 weeks, another day. But day one was 300 and something questions. Day two is 100 and something questions. And then finally on day three, it was like 12 more questions, and finally got to see the doctor. And she was really quite nice. I really, I liked her a lot. In fact, after I have the surgery, if I'm starting to run into issues, which, I'm sure I'm going to, it sounds like you always have issues, I will probably go back and see her and talk to her again, because she actually was a bariatric patient, so she really understands everything, and she was super nice. I also, on my survey questions, I put that I had smoked. I had quit 20 years ago. I quit in 1995, but I still had to go see I had to get a pulmonary clearance, the lung doctor. And that was frustrating, because that probably was one of the longest ones, because I finally got an appointment with him. It was a consultation, and he's like, well, you're going to have to do a sleep study, even though you don't have too many signs of sleep apnea. You're going to have to, I want you to do an at-home sleep study. I guess that's a blessing. So I did that. And it took like 3 more weeks to get another appointment with him. In the meantime, I'm like, I'm supposed to have a chest x-ray. So, and they just hand you a piece of paper, go to your hospital. So I did, and had the chest x-ray. So then at the next meeting, he's like, yeah, you have a mild case of sleep apnea. I'm like, really? So at this point, I'm now into January, and all my insurance, I had to start all over with my insurance, not the co-pays, but the out-of-pocket and the deductibles and all that. So I get put on a CPAP machine, which pretty much cost me the whole price of the CPAP, and it was so horrible trying to get used to it. If you sleep on your side and they tell you need a CPAP machine, buy the $66 pillow. Trust me, just buy the pillow. Suck it up, buy the pillow. So I'm dealing with that. Will I stay on it for the rest of my life? I don't even think I need it now, but I'm doing it because I have to do it. So that took a long time to get the clearance from him. He said, oh, your chest x-ray came back, perfect. You're fine. I didn't have any issues to begin with, but okay. And they said I needed an upper GI. So again, a referral. Took a while, and it took a while to get the appointment. Get in there, talking to the doctor, and now to me, an upper GI is you drink the nasty stuff and then have picture taken. Well, with him, it's not called an upper GI. It's called something else, and it's the camera going down your throat, which means you have to go in the hospital and be knocked out. And I'm like, I go to the hospital for this? Seriously? I said, I don't want to be knocked out. That means I have to bring somebody with me. So I came back and I called my advocate, and I'm like, really? Do I really have to have a camera? And she goes, well, I have some bad news. Your insurance company does not cover SIPS surgery because it's too new. So, would you like to go for a different surgery? I'm like, well, of course I would. I'll do, the gastric bypass. And she's, oh, good. I set you up for that already. So she goes, now that's a different doctor. Let me go check with him. So the next day she called me back and said, you don't need to get the upper GI. Don't even worry about it. I'm like, hallelujah. Cross that one out. Went to get an I. pylori test. Okay, I have no clue what I'm doing. So I showed up. And she's like, where's your paperwork? I'm like, what? So I took another week to get another appointment, got the paperwork, got that done. That was painless. Then you have to be, according to the insurance company, you have to be on a 3-month doctor structured diet. So where I go for my primary care, they have a nutritionist there, and it's free of charge. So I went with her. Super nice lady, super helpful, explained to me a lot of stuff I didn't even know. I'm 56 years old. You would think that I would know this stuff, but I didn't. And so when I finished with her for the 3 months, I was down to 312. Not a huge drop, but it was a drop, and I was thrilled. So then when she was leaving the company, and I said, screw it. I did my 3 months. I put into my obligation, so I just stopped going. And then I had to get an EKG, which they do right at my primary care place, and it came back with an abnormality. And I'm like, what? He's like, oh, don't get upset about it. Really? It's your heart. You're telling me I have an abnormal beat. And he says, but being it came back bad, the surgeons are not going to allow me to have the surgery. You're going to have to see a cardiologist, so let's set that up. So, of course, I had to wait another 2 weeks for the appointment. And I went up there, and they were, again, really, everybody's been really nice. And he was checking me out and stuff. And he's like, well, look you have some swelling in your ankles, and we're going to put you on a water pill. I'm like, oh, my God. And I just get so annoyed because to me, once you start going on the pills, then you're on more pills to counteract that pill. So I was a little upset about that. And it's a low dose. I mean, I shouldn't complain, but I did. And I'm like, am I going to be on this forever? Just, you know what, 10 to 1, when you start losing weight, you're going to end up coming off of it. I said, all right. So he did his own KG, said, yeah, you do have an abnormality. And it looks like that you had a heart attack in the past. I'm like, what? Don't worry about it. What? Are you kidding me? Now I'm going on it's going to be forever. And I have to, because now I have to get a stress test done, and I'm freaking out. So that took a couple weeks to get that done. And and then of course going on the water pill, the following week I had to go get blood tests to make sure my potassium level was still okay, because I had to eat a banana and orange juice. But I did all that, and everything came back fine. But again, now, that took another couple months to get the approval, because you can't go anywhere until you get these clearances. So finally, I got everything done. My paperwork was all complete, and I got the call that I was going to get, I got my date. March 29th is when I'm going. So that's a week and a day away. And I was excited. I had to start the phase 2 diet, which is what I'm on now. There was a couple days that I don't know, I wanted I don't even want to say cheeseburger. I just wanted a piece of chicken, anything. But I hung in there. Am I perfect at it? No, but I've become so much more conscious of what I'm putting in. I was drinking Ensure. I finally bought a blender bottle because I was trying to make the powder stuff. It was coming out awful. I haven't tried it yet. I'm going to try it tonight to see how it is in the blender bottle. I did end up picking up, where is it? Here it is. It's this one, Muscle Milk. It's because it has 20 grams of protein, sugar, and gluten-free. So, and it's only 100 calories. Some of the protein mixes I was looking at were like really high in calories. And it's okay. I mean, I don't know, it has a slight aftertaste, but nothing horrible that I can't stand. So then I had to go down and get my blood work. Holy crud, they took like vial after vial. I learned a lot about blood work too that I never knew. Not that I had it done a lot, but I would never watch. But now I'm all set. Oh, and then I had to go for the blood work consultation. Come to find out I am vitamin D deficient. I'm like, how the heck? I live in Florida. I run around with with my sunroof down. But hey, whatever. Went out and bought the vitamin D's. Fine. I'm going to give you a view of the body. Shh, don't tell anyone. So I'm going to keep trying to wear this shirt until it doesn't fit anymore. Next video I'll make probably will be after surgery. I'm not really good at this. Maybe I'll get better, but then probably once a month after that. This is a lot for me, rather than anybody else. But thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're on your way to surgery or if you had it already, I wish you all the luck. And thank you for being there. Bye.